Good afternoon and welcome to Nora's Dog Training Company. We're here this afternoon with Bluebell and Fred, and what we're going to be demonstrating for you today on video is your girl's ability to understand and respond to her formal on-leash obedience commands. The correction and the motivation that we give the puppies when we're working with them, and the training equipment that we're using. Fred is using a regular 6-foot web training leash, and he keeps the bulk of the leash folded neatly in his right hand. That leaves his left hand free to give any correction that is needed. And the only correction that we give is a tug and let go on the training collar. And that is the second piece of equipment that we're using. You'll be taught how to use your training equipment properly tomorrow during your follow-up training session. Now, Bluebell is sitting very nicely at Fred's left, which is where all of our obedience training is done. And the first exercise that we're going to demonstrate for you is heeling. Heeling is proper walking on a leash, and the command is Bluebell heel. Now, at this point, she has a job to do, and that is to match pace with you, not forging ahead or lagging behind. If you're coming across another dog on one of your walks, she should stay focused on you. And each time that you stop your feet, she's been taught to sit automatically without being told to wait for her next command. And the next command that Fred is going to demonstrate for you is the sit-stay. The stay is a hand and a voice command, and because it is a stationary exercise, it is a one-word command.
No.
Now she's trying to lay down on the sit-stay, and Fred told her no. He heeled her right back around to get her back under control, and he's going to leave her again in a sit-stay, and that's how you handle it if she makes a mistake. There's no yelling, there's no getting loud, it's just no, and you go back. And we want her to be able to start to hold this command from 1 minute working up to 3 minutes. When Fred returns back to her, as an additional distraction, he walks all the way around her, and she remains seated until he gets back to her shoulders, and they're back where they started at heel position, and they take off heeling again. So remember, when you're working with her at home, that it is very important each time you return to her shoulders to tell her what's expected of her next. And she just take a couple steps forward. She's doing anything she can to try to distract us from this.
Okay.
Fred leaves her in another sit-stay. And see, all these exercises are developed to help to develop her self-control, her focus, her attention span. And this time, instead of returning back to her as he did before, he's going to call her. And the command is Bluebell come, and she comes and sits. No jumping on you, nothing like that. Sitting nicely again. You can come with enthusiasm, but when you get here, you have to sit. Fred's talking to her to keep her focused and motivated. You see her looking up at him. And that's what your goal will be, to try to get her focused on you and paying attention. Fred leaves her in another sit-stay. Walks out to the end of the leash and turns to face her. He's going to use her name. He's going to lighten his tone of voice, and her job is to come in. He's praising her on the way in. Coming to you should always be a happy command, but if you take it too far over the top, then she gets overexcited. So you can lighten your tone of voice, but don't get too crazy. And she's able to do all of these things with another dog present. Now, the next exercise that we're going to demonstrate for you is the down from a heel position. So with the dog seated nicely at your left, you take your left open palm, push it straight down toward the ground, and give the one-word command to down and then stay. Your long down stay, when you're practicing at home, you want to aim for a little bit longer. And you can practice these exercises indoors as well as outdoors, and learn to use them in your everyday conversations with her. So this is your down stay. You're going to start out at about 2 minutes and work all the way up to 5 minutes on your down stay. And you're going to lengthen out your distance as well. Right now, Fred's 6 feet away. but you can lengthen that out. When Fred returns back to her, again, he walks all the way around her, just as he did on the sit stay, back to meet his leash. And it's an additional distraction for her, and he heals her right out of that. She's very eager to please, and I think now that she understands the difference between good behavior and bad behavior, you're going to have a great time with her because she's a really nice girl. Again, Fred will demonstrate the down.
No, down.
Now, she didn't go right down, so you heard that no again. No, down. See, and if you notice, Fred just keeps his tone the same neutral tone. We're not angry with you, but you have to complete this exercise the way it was taught. And this time, Fred's going to call her out of that exercise. He has her come and sit. And then they go back to their healing. And if you practice along with this little video, we can see how often our owners view their videos. And in the beginning, you're going to want to watch this a lot because you're learning to be a dog trainer. She already knows what to do. Fred's going to leave her in his sit stay. This time he's going to turn to face her from a distance. And this is your down from a distance. He's going to use his right hand to give the command.
No, down.
And that is your down from a distance. Now, we have demonstrated for you all of the formal obedience commands on leash. The heel, the automatic sit, the sit stay, the down stay, the down from a distance, and the come. These are the exercises that you're going to be practicing with her when she gets home. We want you to make sure that you stay in touch with us and let us know how you're doing and ask any questions that you have. We've enjoyed having her. She's a very, very nice girl, and thank you for choosing Nora's Dog Training Company.